What's good, everybody? It's Dame Stacks, artist slash producer. And today we were only the strong EGK. And we got Power Burgess. So let's go ahead and hop straight into it. Where you from?
From Newport News, VA, downtown, bad news.
Okay. And when it comes to music and hip hop, how did you get your start?
I got my start by growing up in the hip hop era, in our era, loving hip hop, following a couple of artists from the 80s into the 90s.
Okay. And who do you work with mainly when it comes to music?
I normally work with, first and foremost, I started out with Virginia's underground block music. My man Bobby Flawless, he was one of the engineers behind TR, Thug Relations. And started from there, then I branched off and started dealing with Lights Out Entertainment. And through Lights Out Entertainment, I met my man Sonny started dealing with him, introduced me to Coop, and that's the circle that I stay in.
Okay, and do projects as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Any projects coming or any projects that you worked on recently? Who do you usually work with when it comes to your projects?
Yeah, I got a couple projects I'm working on right now currently. I got a couple projects for the future. I normally work with T-Dub from Lights Out Entertainment and Sonny Strong. Me and Sonny got something going on right now. We did a collabo. We did the Get You Shot. Did a video for that. We working on validation right now.
Okay, and if you had to explain your style, how would you explain it?
My style is, I would say my style is a lot different from a lot of styles that I hear out here in a way. I'm gonna just give you what I was getting when I dropped the I Wanna Know track, and we got it aired on 103. And at that time, my mixtape came out, Powerful Impact. A lot of people was giving me the feedback. They was calling me the Tupac of the 757.
Yeah.
So I never looked at it like that, but that's what they were calling me. And then I, pay attention to what I write, about what I think about, what I visualize, what I bring to life.
Okay. And what's your recording process like?
My recording process, I record with, like I said, my engineer, T-Dub, he the owner of Lights Out Entertainment. I'm the president. So, he do a lot of our recording, mixing, and mastering. And, I dealt with Sonny Strong and his peoples. I met Coop Chardonnay through him. Engineer worked with him. He recorded a couple of our tracks.
Okay. And you like to punch, or you a one-take kind of man?
Yeah, I'm normally a one-take kind of man.
Okay.
Now, every now and then, I might have to go there. It all depends. I go sometime, but normally, I'm a one-take guy. I like to get it over with.
Got you. And the first time I ever actually heard of your music or seen it was the Get You Shot video. So how did that come together?
Okay, Sonny called me up one day, right? He was in the studio with Dub, and he had let Dub hear the beat. So Sonny and Dub was telling me they were discussing it, and Dub was like, "Shit, Power, kill this his type of beat." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So boom, Dub was like, "Yo, you hit Sonny, y'all hit Power up, boom, y'all do the track." Boom, we told him I could do the track with him. Sonny hit me, boom, sent me the beat. We laid our verses, went from there.
Okay. And as far as the future goes, you got any plans or anything you plan on doing?
Yeah, keep pushing this music, taking it to a different level, more videos, more interviews, travel a little more. I've been traveling, I've been moving around here and there, a couple states, and putting their product out there, man, putting them projects out, giving people what they want. And I got a movie I'm working on also with Show Flacco.
Okay. And when you say pushing the music, what type of beats do you typically choose when you try to go for a new song or a new idea?
I like deep, dark beats. I like beats that I can put my life into. I like a beat that I can just like, when I get that deep, dark beat, it's like I just jumped in a pool of oil. And it's like when I come up to swim, I'm just covered. So it's survival of the fittest. I'm fighting for my life. And then I like a couple of these beats that's going on now with the newer generation. Kind of combined, between the 90s and some of the newer generation.
Okay, and speaking of the newer generation, how do you feel about them?
I feel the newer generation, I don't feel no type of way about them. And the reason why I say that is because they're only doing exactly what we done. And the generation before us, and the generation that created hip hop. It's still a hip hop, but it evolved to a whole nother level. But it all stemmed from the same root and the same foundation and the same soil. But the game has changed because they got away from the hip hop culture.
Gotcha, gotcha. And do you feel like if the 90s, era hip hop heads or the newer era battle, which one do you feel like can come out on top? Honestly.
Most definitely the 90s gonna come out on top. I mean, and if it's any other way, you know what I'm saying, that's because of their fan base and their generation is popping right now. But it's some cats in the newer generation that I fuck with, man. I dig them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they got their style, but they got our soul.
Now that's it.
And I can fuck with that.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Now, if you had to say your favorite artist of all time, who would they be? It could be present, past, doesn't matter.
Of all times. I would have to go, man, damn. That's a tough one. But I got a couple that follow the concept that they ram about, follow. It's like, man, I don't want to say it. I'm gonna say, can I say it like this? Like a Scarface, Tupac, Nas, Locks type of mission.
Yeah.
That'll make one of them niggas out of all of that.
I got
And
you.
they basically like that, but it fluctuate with the rhymes. You know what I'm saying? With the projects, the records that they put out.
Okay,
But it's all symbolic, but it's delivered a certain way.
Got you. Now I know you said you've been working with Lights Out.
Mm-hmm.
You said you've been working with T-Dub.
Mm-hmm.
Coop, of course. That's my right hand man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out the finest. But how did you and Sonny actually meet?
I met Sonny through T-Dub. I was at the crib one day. We was in the studio. At first, before I saw Sonny, I saw his album cover. Cause Dub was like, yo, I'm working on an album cover for my man and shit. For Sonny. So boom, I saw him on the picture. So he was like, yo, wait till you see what I do to this shit. So I'm like, all right. So when he fixed it up, I come back for a week or whatever, showed me the finished product. I'm like, oh shit, that shit hot. So he started talking to me about him. He was like, yeah, Sonny, my man, we go way back. This and that, we do music and shit. He engineered too, boom. So I'm like, okay. So he was like, one day he come by here, I'm gonna introduce you to him. Came by that day, I think, to pick up something, but I was there in the studio. He introduced me to him, and we got to chopping it up from there. And I think I gave Sonny one of the CDs, The Powerful Impact. And
Okay.
yeah, and he checked the joint out, and he got back with me and shit. And he was like, yo, give me the ratings on the CD. He was like, talk to his people, they listen, and he listened. Boom. And went from there.
Okay, and your affiliations with Lights Out. You like a front running artist? You like somebody who just does work with them sometimes, or you 10 toes in it?
That's my team. That's my squad.
Okay. And y'all been running for a minute now.
Yeah, we've been running about a good year and a half almost right now.
Okay, and how did y'all actually get started?
All right, when I was dealing with this chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna find out the chick and Dub's brother was married. They married. So long story short, I went through some shit. You know what I'm saying? The girlfriend shit. The breakup, relationship shit. And that's when then me and Shorty, we been friends. Running to her, we get to kicking it or whatever. Boom, boom. And she was like, "You still doing the music and shit?" Cause I dropped a project back in 2012 or 13. I dropped a mixtape then called Thug Gentleman. So I had gave her one. So when I got back in contact with her, we caught up with each other. She was like, "You still doing the music?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still doing it, but it's hard for me to find somebody to record with." You know what I'm saying? We got a recording studio. Most of the people I ran into, they won't sufficient enough. They won't dedicated enough. They'll do something today and put it down. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to go with this. If the bread, even throw the bread at them, and they just was bullshitting. So long story short, she was like, "Well, my brother-in-law got a recording studio." Now, mind you, I've been knowing these dudes for years, but I just didn't know who they was at the time because she didn't give me a name. Brother-in-law. So long story short, she called him up. She was like, "Yo, bro." She was like, "My friend and shit, he fuck with the music and shit. He need a recording studio. You still doing it?" So he was like, "Yeah." So She got, let me talk to him. I chop it up real quick, but still don't know who I'm talking to, but I know him. We all come up from out of the way.
Yeah.
So when she showed me the picture of him, I'm like, oh shit, I kind of remember him, you know what I'm saying? Cause I did a bid. So when I left, it's been a long time. Motherfuckers' faces didn't change and everything. I did 9 years straight. So when I come home, I don't see him, and I've been home for a minute. And then when I catch up with him, all them years, you know what I'm saying? So then we started talking, and he was like, Mike, hey, yeah, I'm like, yeah, man. So then everything started coming back. So from there, that's when he shared with me. He had a group, and shit went to the left. He put the group down for a minute. He ain't done nothing in a minute at the time. So I started recording. I recorded a track. He charged me for that. Boom. I recorded another one. He charged me for that. That's when I told him, I was like, look, man, I said, I'm prepared to do my whole mixtape. I got the money for it, each song and everything. Yeah. She was like, all right, cool. So like after, I think the third song, that's when he got to talking to his people or whatever, and he was like, yo, man, I'm over there chilling, we drinking, smoking. He was like, what you think about getting down with lights out? I was like, shit, all right. I was like, let me call my man. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was still with my man, Flaw, which I still am.
Yeah.
So I called Flaw. I was like, Flaw. So when I told Flaw who he was, we on the speaker. Flaw was like, yo, man, I know you, but not personally. He was like, I was following you when you was on your shit. And that's when he was like, oh, he had been following Dub for a minute. He was like, Dub was like one of the ones from VA that he thought was going to pop off right then. And that's when he was asking him what happened. He was like, hey, my man, he a hell of a motherfucker, Flaw. And goddamn it, he fucked with Point Guard and him and shit. And I let Point talk to him, and Point was like, that nigga was telling me about Point. Point was like, nah, that nigga the genius. Yeah. So I'm like, boom. So I already knew he was on this shit, but I ain't know that strong. The nigga Flaw I've been fucking with for years. So when he gave the credit and passed the baton to Dub and was like, yo, he know who he is, because he know this dude stay on his shit with his music and shit. So he the one that introduced me to Rough Riders of the South too.
Yeah.
So, boom, when he co-signed that shit, and him and Dub, we all three talking on the phone from Dub. So Flaw was like, yeah, that's who you need to be with, somebody like that. He was like, yo, he on this shit. So I'm like, yo, what's up? So we like, what's up? After that day, it was on and popping from there. I was like the first artist with the new group after his last group.
Got you. And with all the big moves y'all been making, what's next?
Like I said, we got some shit going on now. He just went to Texas and came back. He got down there. He did a little business and shit. Fuck with Bone and shit. And chopped it up. And he put some shit on the media and shit. Showing and proving the business he handled out there. Motherfuckers are fish certified. Yo, what you need? We'll do this. Boom, boom, boom. So then he was hitting us all in the group chat while he was gone, and we're like, man, y'all get ready, man. Boom. They done started doing more music, because I fell back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because our team had fell apart, the one that we built, me and him. He made me the president, so we had a couple of chicks. We had Miss B, R&B singer / rap artist. We had Candy Bliss, rap artist. Panama, he's Pound Stacks, he's still on the label and shit. And me and Dub bought all of that from there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And motherfuckers started doing their thing, going this way, that way. Long story short, and Peekaboo, we had Peekaboo, that's two. And it was like, and then life started happening, you know what I'm saying? Children and shit, home. And so, you can't knock all that. Everything added up in one. So I'm like, damn, that's when I started, man, Sonny started fucking with each other even harder. You know what I'm saying? We were fucking with each other hard, but even harder. And after that, he told me I could do that Get You Shot video with Sonny. We just took off after that. So I'm like, boom, that's the green light, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a real nigga, so I fuck with lights out. That's who I'm with, So boom, I follow protocol. I'm the president, he's the owner, you know what I'm saying? So boom, so anytime, and I was his first artist. So mad people was reaching out to me to do collabos and shit like that. Yo, can I get this on the mixtape, this and that, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, yo, I go to Dub first, boom. That'll be like, boom, if I'm under your label, I'm gonna go to you first and be like, yo, what you think about this cat? What you think about me collaborating with him? What's your consent? If he say no, boom, it's no. I go straight back. It's been many occasions, no, man, I can't do it. Boss man said, no, I care just like that. You know what I'm saying? Boom. And when he co-signed the joint and told us go ahead, shit, we took off from there. So that was the green light all the way. Gas to the pedal. So it ain't nothing I gotta go to the team for and ask permission, could I do this with this artist, because he done gave me the green light to go with him for first. So I can go with him all the way now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Boom. And it's only to protect our best interest because, you know, he a little more knowledgeable with this shit than me. So boom, you know, he know the game on what he knows. So when he be like, no, I don't want you to work with this artist, there's a reason why. I don't ask the reason, he don't give me the reason. I know he know what he know. He's an intelligent man with this shit. So boom, yo, boom, boom, boom. And some artists done went and asked him, yo man, you mind, boom, boom, boom. He like, no, not right now. And him be like, hell no, just not right now. Certain circumstances and shit, business and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Got you. Well, look, man, it's definitely been good having you. Welcome to Dame Stacks TV.
No doubt.
Sponsored by, you already know, only the strong EGK. Shout out to Sonny Strongarm. Shout out to Finest Military Minded. Shot for all the new music, and this is Power Burgess. Look, come back again.